Hey guys, Tisha here. I'm letting you all know right now that based on the clips that I'm already seeing that have been released by TLC for tonight's episode, that I feel like is going to have to be broken down into many parts. Maybe because of the comment right here, which was made by Mr. Brown himself. It's been weird because I'm married to the love of my life. Say what? Kody says we can fix things. We might be able to get most of the family together, but right now I have a life with Robin and her children. And right now, that's really, then he pauses and he says, I'm okay with that for now, even though I hope we can fix things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Kody wanted to let us know right then and there that he's fine with it just being Robin and her kids. After all, his actions show that. Don't forget, he told us last episode that he does not want to talk to or spend time with the children who basically aren't loyal to him. No matter how he tries to spin it, that's what he said. According to Kody, Janelle and Christine are trying to create an identity with the family that does not include him. He's come to this conclusion because they're creating their own family memories and he's not involved in it. So he feels like they're trying to exclude him from it. He says that they want to separate him from his children so they can have them all to themselves. So as usual, Kody uses things for convenience because before we were told that his older children don't need him anymore. Then we were told that at a certain point he's done his job. Then in the very, very beginning of episodes, in the very, very beginning of seasons, we were told that until they're out of the home and or married, that the children are his responsibility. So which one is it? I guess it's this most recent one. But I'd like to say that since they've all moved to Flagstaff, that they've already been separate from their father, and it isn't because of their mothers. It is because of their father. Here's the problem. Kody has managed to spend so much time with Robin that he is now taken on the approach of being a victim. Those ladies and his children have tried to include him in family things and on family occasions several times. If you don't want to talk to them, if you don't want them in your home, which is with Robin, if you feel like they're not, and I quote, a safe place, if you don't want to come to the Airbnb and spend time with them on or after the holidays because they weren't welcome to your house, what are they supposed to do? Seriously. The women are creating traditions for their children, and I can't blame them. The family gathering is no longer happening. It stopped happening a long time ago because there were certain stipulations put in place and certain rules, and people were made to feel uncomfortable and all these things. However, you don't want to do it, and then you have a problem when they decide that they want to do it. How can you all gather as a family when you have so many egos involved? When Christine told Kody that she was leaving and she no longer wanted to be married to him, at no point did Christine say that she was leaving the family. Christine said that she was leaving him. She said she still wanted to be a part of the family, and the relationships that were there, she still wanted to have those, and those that were not, for now, that they could remain as they were. To be clear, she actually stressed the fact that she wanted the family to be involved with each other. She talked about how she was going to make sure that she brought Truly back. She suggested for him to create a space for her. She wanted him to have her to come over to the house more so she could feel comfortable. There were things that Christine was trying to do to keep certain parts of the family intact. She even said, and I think she even said it when they went to the restaurant that they always eat at, the Mexican spot. She even said that she hopes that at one point her and Kody could get to not only a healthy place of co-parenting, but they could be cordial. But he wants to twist it and make it seem like Christine is on this campaign where she's trying to divide and conquer. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that Christine has said and done. I will admit that Christine is one of my favorites. I do feel like I want Christine to back off a little bit when it comes to people like Janelle, because at the end of the day, you don't want it to be said that you're the reason why Janelle started acting like this, which is exactly what's happening. Kody is using Christine as a scapegoat, but I do understand why she's doing and saying some of the things she is doing and saying, because she's trying to rescue her friend, because she loves Janelle. It seems like she loves her more than her own husband does. Where am I at in my notes? The family wasn't supposed to split apart. If Kody had realized the significance of Christine, not only to him, but to his kids, then he would have understood the importance of maintaining some form of healthy relationship with her. But he allowed for pride to get in his way. Remember, she stabbed him in the kidneys and all these other things, even though he had told us that he didn't love her. He wasn't doing certain things with her. And she wasn't happy. He's allowed for his children to have their own voice. Something that we've seen since the beginning, since they first were brought onto the television screen. We were told how these children were encouraged by their parents to have their own voice, their own opinion, that even if they don't go down the route they want them to go as far as life is concerned, and as far as being a polygamist and their religious practices and who they want to love, that they would still love them, that they would still be there for them, that they would still be considered family. You encourage them to have an opinion, yet now those opinions have become problematic for Kody, because Kody doesn't want you to have any opinion but his. So now these strong beings that you created with your other 3 wives, because let's be clear, when Robin came along, there was a shift. Her kids weren't raised the same way as your children were. This even came out of your daughter, who is Switzerland's mouth, Mykelti. Mykelti stated on her Patreon that Robin's kids were raised differently, that she kind of had them in a bubble and she hovered over them more. And they were raised that it was okay to fight sometimes and wrestle and do all those things. I think that Kody has gotten too accustomed to the docile, submissive, loyal way of doing things, which he finds in Robin and her children. And he rather for his children to appear to be infantile than to grow up and to be productive adults that a lot of his kids from his other wives have become. I'm not talking poorly about the children. Let me make that clear. I am talking poorly about their parentals, because their parents have created this environment that is not realistic. I wonder how their socialization skills are, because they seem to be in a bubble all the time. I don't see those kids out and about, and maybe their social medias are more heavily monitored than the other siblings are. Maybe it's a protective measure. I'm not knocking it if it is, but seeing them appear in the confessional and how a lot of their mannerisms are much like their mothers makes me go back to feeling like they've been groomed. They've been taught to act, to respond, to do things in a certain way, and it's going to end up biting them in the butt, because they're not going to know who their people are. So, how did this turn into what we see now? Kody never cared about Christine or her feelings. Christine told us that they weren't getting equal time. And I'm interested in seeing how this is going to play out in the episode that we see tonight. She has shown us for years that she wasn't happy. She has told us for years that Kody has been there more for Robin and her kids. And once she came in, the dynamic shifted. Maybe he'll be honest and admit that he did it, that he favored the children, and that what he had with Robin meant more to him than what he had with his other wives. I have more to say, but I'm going to save it for my review. I'll see you all a little bit later. We're on the road to 400 with a goal of at least 1,000. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. And until later on this evening, I hope if YouTube doesn't play.